In the headlines, government called upon to meet outstanding financial commitments to the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI. Former Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence comes out of retirement for a 2-year mission in his old job. And a second murder charge against Patrickson Gravity Moses, this time in connection with the death of Flavian Bellet of Gallio. I am Andrea V with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this. Thank you for staying with us. First up, an official of the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, has called on the Dominica government to settle on its arrears to the organization so that it can perform its role more efficiently on island.
CARDI is established by the governments of CARICOM, including Dominica, to promote agricultural research and development across the region. Member governments finance between 45% to 55% of CARDI's annual budget. The balance is financed by specific projects from diverse sources. CARDI's technical advisor for a regional cassava development project, Grenadian Reginald Andel, told reporters during a workshop at Fort Young Hotel that government needs to meet its financial commitment to the organization.
There are some outstanding matters, especially from the Ministry of Finance, which we at CARDI hope to have greater collaboration. We need greater financial support, the greater commitment of the government of Dominica, as they have promised to do, and not just promise, but what is the legal mandate to support CARDI, financially speaking. We need them to put forward on the table what they are committed to. And that will greatly help CARDI in Dominica to increase their involvement. We have been doing pretty well already with a number of projects, but we need that greater financial boost from the government of Dominica.
Andal says CARDI is looking forward to ironing out the matter with government.
We have not, in recent times, been able to really have that sort of discussion. So we really like to have that discussion, and not just discussion, but proper action.
Channel 5 News contacted CARDI's headquarters in Trinidad, and head of its finance unit, Curtis Nero, confirmed that Dominica is in arrears. Since Nero described this as a sensitive matter, he could not disclose the amount of the arrears.
Based on CARDI's contribution formula, in which we have 14 countries contributing, the total quota is 9,482,525. That's 9,482,525 EC dollars, of which Dominica, the country in which you're interested, I suppose, contributes 3.2%.
Nero pointed out that Dominica's government is not the only one falling behind on payments. He said he was not allowed to disclose the names of other member governments that owe contributions. Nero explained that CARDI also raises its own funds to undertake projects.
Our total budget is externally generated. That is outside of the government, and raised for the purpose of undertaking projects. And that would run to somewhere around 6.4 million EC per annum kind of thing. Because the ratio would change depending on the amount we're able to mobilize.
Channel 5 News has tried but has not been able to reach the Minister for Agriculture on the matter. Idona John-Baptist, Channel 5 News.
Police news now, a second murder charge within 2 days against Patrickson Moses, better known as Gravity. This time, he is charged with the death of Flavian Bellet of Gallio. Bellet was found lying on riverbank in the wee hours of 18th May with injuries and later succumbed at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Police spokesman Inspector Pelham John Baptist said police completed their investigation and charged Moses on Tuesday. Moses was previously charged with the murder of Anderson Carbon on Monday. The police chief told the media on Friday after arresting Moses in connection with investigations into Carpen's death that he would help them connect other murder investigations involving the discovery of bodies in the city.
We are very much confident that the other murders in the city of Roseau in recent times, especially the Paros. We had one at Washington, we had one in the vicinity of Save-A-Lot. We're also looking as far back as the incident in the Newtown bus stop involving Wassin Park. We are trying our best because we believe and strongly suspect that we can make headway into it.
Meantime, the public is being encouraged to take any tips about a crime to a religious leader, medical professional, or teacher. The word from the chief of police, who has appealed for witnesses of crimes not to be afraid to speak up.
It's a worldwide phenomenon now that people, citizens, visitors, whoever they are, do not want to speak and volunteer information in relation to criminal activity. That is not the best practice. You may have issues of confidentiality. There must be a police you can confide in. There is no excuse about that. There is Crime Stoppers. You have the clergy, you have the doctors, you have the pastors, you have the school teachers and the school principals, and you have the technocrats, you have the politicians. There must be somebody you can confide in this country that you can pass the intel to, who will make it available to the police.
Carpen said his cry is that people would appreciate the importance of having the police document what they see or hear to assist the speedy prosecution of matters.
When the public see criminal activity, they witness it, come forward and tell the police what you see. Let the police write it down. He'll read it over to you, and he'll ask you to make corrections and additions and alterations if you so wish. And he'll ask you to sign and date what you say you saw. Because that is the evidential value we need. There is always room for improvement in relation to providing information. I'm not saying that they're not providing, but there is room for improvement.
In other lead stories, Dominica's longest-serving Chief Cultural Officer is back on the job after 3 years in retirement, and he promises an ambitious work program to drastically revamp cultural development. Lawrence worked at the Cultural Division for 32 years, spending 24 of those years in the top job. He is also a member of the 2018 National Reunion Committee and is expected to serve as Chief Cultural Officer over the next 2 years. He says his first order of business is conducting a needs assessment for stakeholders in the field of culture. Capacity building for cultural groups around the island and the formation of new cultural groups is another item on his agenda. According to Lawrence, capacity building is needed to save declining cultural expressions, including folklore and Jinping.
While I'm here, of course, the focus primarily will be on the people of the country. That's because culture is about people. And so that will be my first priority, to work with the communities and the schools and the cultural groups and artists across the island, and to help to support and to encourage, and even the formation of new groups and the development of new artists and so. And also artists and performers, they need facilities, they need musical instruments, they need the spaces to rehearse, to perform, and so that too would be another priority of mine as well.
Lawrence also plans to review the documentation of historical and modern cultural expression.
These projects are in the pipeline: a new stage at the Old Mill, a steel band studio, extension hopefully of the roof of the dance theater, rehabilitating this stage at the Arawak, and the side panels at the Arawak as well, and trying to do necessary repairs and upgrade at the Arawak, technical and the physical space.
Lawrence is hoping that the division can collaborate with the Ministry of Education to introduce the teaching of Creole in schools through a pilot project. Moving on to our indigenous community, a prominent Kalinago is dismissing the view of some who think Dominica's indigenous people are being marginalized. Community leader Paul Barron is expected to be a co-presenter at the upcoming UE Open Campus Country Conference on August 9th and 10th. The conference is set to feature local, regional, and international researchers and experts presenting their findings on Kalinago culture from a historical and modern perspective.
Personally, I am extremely privileged to be really fall in the ranks of those discussions, in the sense that we have persons who are in pursuit of their doctorate degrees, persons who are already accomplished that. You know, we expect sort of like a rich discussion. Our hope thereby is that the policymakers will take heed. Our leaders, whereby they're concerned about developing the Kalinago territory amicably, will take heed of those discussions, because I think in driving a people forward, everything starts with an idea. And as such, we hope thereby we can have that impact at the Dominica Country Conference, whereby we can say, at the end of the day, we have a framework, we have a working paper, we have goals.
Barron says education has had a tremendous impact in developing the Kalinago territory despite its unique and historical challenges.
I think we have our own unique challenges, some of it which is really historically cemented within the fabric of our society. But what we have seen over the recent past is that the Kalinago territory has sort of opened up. And by opening up, I speak here of the impact that education has had on our population. The fact that there are a number of persons that have gone up there, attained university degrees, come back home, working within the communities, because the change has to start there. I always see young people as being the builders of our nation. Our very success rests on the shoulders of the youth.
Coming up, latest developments to ensure that there is always reliable drinking water at the DGS. Welcome back. A legal battle between Carnival Corner and Thunderbird's costume groups versus the Discover Dominica Authority has been settled.
This means that the Discover Dominica Authority will be legally able to award the Africulture Stilt Walkers its prize money for being judged the 2016 Band of the Year. After Carnival Corner and Thunderbirds legally challenged the matter, a High Court judge issued an injunction preventing the awarding of the prize for winner of the 2016 Adult Carnival Band of the Year. The claimant's argument was that Africulture Stilt Walkers Group did not have 50 or more adults on parade, neither did they make a full round on the parade route within the time stipulated to qualify for the award. Channel 5 News understands that the parties signed an oath agreeing that going forward they would not report on the case to the media. The Discover Dominica Authority and the Attorney General were listed as the defendants in the matter. Idona John Baptist, Channel 5 News.
In education, the 2017 graduating class of the Orion Academy has been advised to embrace diversity. Entrepreneur and amputee Dion Green was the featured speaker at Tuesday's graduation ceremony. 8 students graduated. Speaking around the theme, Strength in Diversity, Green told the 8 graduates that like-minded diverse people can realize significant progress by pulling together.
Diversity is just another way to be stronger. Take me, for example. if you can find strength in these times, it is when you are together. It is like when you are sharing a joke with a friend, or when you are going over to share your time, or just building bonds. Strength is knowing that our nation is too small and that we should not have conflict and waste time and positive energy on negative thinking or making enemies or having hatred, etc.
Valedictorian Louis Rivera told the graduating class it must be prepared to step into an increasingly diverse world and take the jobs of the future.
Recognize the world we are entering is becoming a more diverse place. Today, diversity can be seen not just within our classrooms, but within our governments, or workplaces, and in our societies at large. People with different political views are coming together, working to better the communities they inhabit. More women are entering the industries traditionally dominated by their male counterparts. The makeup of society is changing because of factors that can include migration, education, and modern technology. However, the fabric that holds our communities together remains ever strong. Also recognize that your opportunities, your prospects, are as diverse as ever. In a future that seems to be more and more technologically inclined, we can apply for jobs that don't even exist yet. Your critical thinking, creativity, and decision-making will be more important than ever in the jobs of 2020. Are you ready for such a future?
Minister for Public Works and Ports, Miriam Blanchard, addressed the ceremony on behalf of the Prime Minister.
I believe that your school has taught you essential life skills. You have learned important values such as tolerance, resilience, patience, forgiveness, humility, kindness, discipline, fair play, empathy, love for country, respect for those in authority, respect for yourself and for others as well. These values will become the cornerstone of your achievements, as the acquisition of knowledge on its own does not guarantee success. It is the ability to transform knowledge and skills into deliberate and productive actions that will determine your future success. In order to make your dreams a reality, you must have a plan, and this must begin with clear, attainable goals for yourself. I can assure you that the government of Dominica will be there to provide the framework and support to ensure that you have every opportunity to maximize your potential.
Lushima Lott Coakley received the School Spirit Award. In more academic developments, the country's largest secondary school now has a backup water supply to help with its smooth running in times of water shortage. The Dominica Grammar School, which had a student population of 800 and a staff complement of 74 this past academic year, had 5 1,000-gallon water tanks officially handed over on Tuesday from the Rotary Club of Dominica. The donation cost approximately $28,000 and forms part of activities for Rotary Year being held under the theme Rotary Serving Humanity.
And one of the ways that we decided to serve humanity was with the backup water system. Following the tropical storm Erica, it was very high on our agenda. We looked at the schools and we recognized that one of the areas that we could have made a contribution to young people and to schools was to install some backup water system. As Rotarians, we wanted to share that aspect of humanity with you, and so hence the reason why we are here this morning.
Principal of the Dominica Grammar School, Alicia Jajak, says the school will ensure that the precious water resource is used wisely.
Installing the tanks was a great idea in my opinion, because when we do not have water, it's really impossible to have classes and to teach. As I mentioned earlier, this is a start because this is the new wing. We have 2 campuses, and the smaller, the lower school campus houses many more students, at least 500. So we really need more tanks in the event of an emergency, and our students would have to stay at school and use water. So we are really appreciative of that effort. We are not going to take this lightly. We are going to ensure that students are educated about conserving the water, especially in times of emergency.
The 5 water tanks were installed by JB Plumbing and can provide water for 3 to 5 days. And wrapping up with the youth, strengthen the partnership between the National Youth Council and the National Employment Program, just one of the accomplishments of the NYC over the last year. NYC President Senator Josiah Benoit says securing jobs for young people remains a serious challenge in these times.
According to the International Labour Organization, it is 3 times more difficult for a young person to get a job than an adult. Do we think that looks like a level playing field, young people? 3 times more difficult for a young person to get a job. But thanks to the vision of our Prime Minister for introducing the NEP, the opportunities for young people to be engaged, to develop the experience they need to access jobs, to have an opportunity to show their potential and then become a part of a company. This, I think, is the true benefit of the National Employment Program, and we are very happy to have a working relationship with the National Employment Program's office.
Benoit says securing gainful employment for NYC executive members under the NEP has made it easier to divert resources to the district youth councils.
This year, we saw a transition in our relationship from a time when we had several of our members of staff engaged with the NEP and the others were engaged through our own subvention of just $12,000 a quarter. So if you have to pay a monthly salary of $1,000 every month, you can see that in every quarter there will be over $4,000, or effectively a third of your subvention will be used just to pay staff. Now that curtails our ability to give resources to the district youth councils. And so the executive came up with a strategic objective so that all of our staff could be engaged for a period through the National Employment Program, so it would free up more resources that we could then pass on to our district youth councils. And I must thank the Minister of Employment in his absence, the staff of the National Employment Program and its National Coordinator, Mrs. Emmeline Honoré, for really being a true partner with the National Youth Council, because we can say today that all 8 members of staff at the National Youth Council Secretariat are engaged through the National Employment Program, and this has been a significant achievement for the National Youth Council.
That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
First up in sports, the selection panel of Cricket West Indies has made 2 changes to the 13-man squad for the upcoming 3rd, 4th and 5th one-day internationals against India. 28-year-old top-order batsman Kyle Hope and 24-year-old wicket-keeper batsman Sunil Ambrose are the newcomers to the squad. Meantime, chairman of selectors of CWI, Courtney Brown, said Ambrose and Hope are 2 promising young batsmen who have been selected on the basis of strong performances in domestic competitions. He says Kyle had good performances as an opener for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in this year's PCL competition. Sunil did well in the Regional Super 50 one-day tournament and had a good showing in this year's PCL first-class tournament for Windward's Volcanoes. The full squad reads Jason Holder captain, Sunil Ambrose, Devendra Bishu, Roston Chase, Miguel Cummins, Alzari Joseph, Evan Luis, Johnson Mohammed, Jason Mohammed, Ashley Nurse, Rovman Powell, Kesrick Williams, Kyle and Shai Hope. The 3rd and 4th ODIs between West Indies and India will be played at Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Ground on Friday and Sunday. The 5th match is scheduled for Sabina Park on July 6. All matches begin at 9 a.m. On the football scene, captain of Dominica's national football squad, Euclid Bertrand, is of the opinion that the team is doing what needs to be done in preparation for their matches in the 2017 Windward Islands Senior Men's Championship. His comments followed a training session on Tuesday.
Well, I am very happy about the tournament and happy for our team position. and our fitness, our training, and all the lead up towards the tournament. I think we're working hard and we are ready. Because of our training, I think we are ready for the kind of pressure. We train hard for 4 months, and the young guys they were really determined and committed during the sessions. So with that and our practice game, in our practice game, we saw that they can handle that type of pressure, and it's a building stage, and we getting there.
Meantime, national goalkeeper Glenson Prince says he's hoping for positive things from his team.
Well, I'm pretty pleased with the effort from the guys. I think everybody is very focused, and we're just looking to have a good performance and get out a win tomorrow. As you can see, we play the host country first, and normally that's a sign of your strength. On paper, that is. Obviously, we know our capabilities. Because of our ranking, we are the lowest ranked team in the tournament, so we have to be real. But we've been training for a number of months, and I believe that we'll do very well in this tournament.
The 2017 Windward Islands Senior Men's Championship is expected to run from 26th June to 6th July. On the local cricket scene, Ethan Cyril had a good day with the bat and ball to help Calibishi Primary win the 2017 Schools Cricket Festival Championships by 29 runs over Atkinson Primary on Tuesday. Batting first at Jolly John's playing field, Calibishi made 127 for 4 from 15 overs. Ethan Cyril contributed 31 to his team's total, and Tyrese Carbon not out on 29 runs. Fontaine picked up 2 for 17 and Michael Ogist 1 for 20. Set 128 for victory, Atkinson was bowled out for 99 runs. Michael Ogist added 50 to his team's total, which was the only batting figure of note. The combined efforts of Ethan Cyril and Stephen Henry saw 7 wickets fallen, with Cyril taking 4 for 17 and Henry 3 for 33. Next up, President of Dominica Olympic Committee, Billy Doctorow, says the sporting body has been making strides in sports management here. The newly elected team was sworn in May.
I'm very satisfied in the direction that we're going. We had to make quite a few changes, but we were not happy with the way that even in terms of the office it has been run. I think that for an organization that big and that important, it should be much more professional and much more user-friendly in terms of access to a sports person. So we have to make quite a few changes. Fortunately, the office staff is on board with us.
He says the onus is on each sporting association to set their house in order to benefit from their affiliation with the committee.
We'll be starting to meet the associations because we would like them to actually start getting themselves more organized. Some of the associations are better organized than others, so we would like to meet all the associations to let them know, how we would like them to operate, and also so that they can put themselves in a better position to benefit from the opportunities that will come their way.
Moving on to basketball, where Division 1 action moves to St. Joseph this Thursday. At 7, Kelvedaro Hurricanes will once again be looking to defend their home turf when they come up against 767 Sports Club. And at 9, Digital Clouds and Kyrie from Old School will follow to see who will finish on top. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us next time.
Your midweek weather forecast is next.
Good evening. Welcome to the weather report and forecast. I am Viola Pascal. The infrared satellite imagery shows a broad area of multilayered clouds that is associated with a tropical wave that is currently affecting the island chain. The visible satellite imagery shows generally cloudy conditions across the area with some pockets of embedded thunderstorms. The radar imagery indicated scattered showers mainly across the central and southern portion of the island chain generated by this tropical wave. For tonight, expect cloudy conditions, hazy and breezy, with showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Similar conditions can be expected tomorrow. Persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides and falling rocks are advised to exercise caution. For the marine forecast, seas are expected to be moderate, with waves peaking near 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution. Over the next 3 days, on Thursday, that tropical wave should give us some showers and possible thunderstorm activity. Some improvement in conditions can be expected on Friday and Saturday, with partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a few scattered showers. Across the Caribbean, expect generally cloudy conditions with showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. For the international cities forecast, expect partly cloudy skies in New York and Miami, some overcast skies in London, and some thunder showers in Caracas and Beijing. The sun will rise at 5:38 a.m. and set at 6:40 p.m. For further information, call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Do have a good evening.
To end the news, the headlines again. Government called upon to meet outstanding financial commitments to the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI. Former Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence comes out of retirement for a 2-year mission in his old job. And a second murder charge against Patrickson Gravity Moses, this time in connection with the death of Flavian Bellot of Gallio. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsJune28th2k17. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.